So me and my friends, when we were kids, we used to play this game called Mr. President. And
Mhm.
basically the way it works is when you're walking in a group, it's less of a game and more just kids being kids. When you're
Yeah.
walking in a group, one person like puts their fingers up to their ear like they're listening to an earpiece.
Okay.
And then the last person that does that, like you do it secretly, and then the last person to notice is the president. And once everyone sees that one person isn't doing it, you say, "Get down, Mr. President," and then you tackle the last person who noticed. The reason I bring that up is because something pretty extraordinary happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Former President Trump had survived an assassination attempt.
Yeah, a serious one.
This election season was already ramping up to be pretty wild. Now we're topping the charts here.
We are, and it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. And you gotta love the media. It's like, well, let's wait for us to assess the situation when we have a plethora of witnesses, of videos, of phones that are out. Did you see like when the shots were happening? People's phones were out instead of ducking. Like they're crazy.
I know. Absolutely nuts. And even though Trump survived, there's at least one person one person that is unfortunately deceased as a reaction from the would-be assassin. So my heart goes out to that guy. He died protecting his wife and daughter. He was a firefighter, guy by the name of Corey, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And just seems like the kind of guy. You hear a lot of people say they take a bullet for their kids. He literally did. He's a hero.
Yeah, he covered them. I saw that. I mean, our hearts go out to him, and his family.
Yes.
And it could have been worse because there was a lot of shots, but I guess half of them were probably the Secret Service agents, right?
Yeah, that's what I understood it to be. Is I don't know how many shots the would-be assassin got off. Was it just the one, and then he got murked?
It kind of looked like that, right? Because when you see the video, the Secret Service snipers, you hear that one shot, and boom, he immediately shoots. So he had him in his sights. Seriously, what were they doing? Were they thinking it's another Secret Service agent, or especially people are screaming, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!"
Yeah, I mean, there's people in the audience who were, telling Secret Service, "Hey, there's a guy up on that rooftop with a rifle." I don't know how, and I don't have a good idea of what the location overall looked like, but it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of buildings around.
There wasn't. It was a clear line of sight, 130 yards. That's it. Like you'd think, and the Secret Service were on another roof behind the stage, so they saw the shooter.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty surreal thing. We don't know a whole lot about the shooter, but from what I'm understanding, he was a registered Republican. But he had donated,
exactly.
To I think it's something blue. Is it Share Blue?
Yeah, and something for Biden.
Yeah,
so donated money.
He had donated money to Biden, but he was a registered Republican. Honestly, it just seems like he was a crazy dude who believed in all the rhetoric that the media has been spinning for the last almost 8 years now.
Right, and as we know, there's no such thing as a low gunman. These people are funded, armed, convinced. It was absolutely premeditated. There was a ladder that allowed him to climb up, so he scoped out the place, or someone scoped out the place before, to make sure that he had to know where the stage is. He had to know what building would have a clear line of sight. They found a ladder that would help him easily climb up there and then get on his stomach and crawl. That's when people saw him.
Yeah, 20 years old.
20 years old doing something like that.
Don't know his name. I don't really care to.
Right. Perfect.
I mean, regardless of what his true political affiliations are, we've talked about this on the show. The violence is never the answer, and all this is going to do is just lead to worse things.
Oh yeah.
There's no universe in which a potential assassination leads to something good. I mean, even if you're assassinating Hitler, you just know something worse is gonna. The pendulum swings one way and then it comes back even harder the other way.
So I mean, we're lucky that we're in the universe that he didn't get killed, because I think that would have ignited the Civil War or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
who knows? Who knows? It's an absolutely bizarre thing that we're living through this. I was just such when I read the news yesterday, like an hour after it happened, I was just like, "What is this real?" Like I thought it was a joke at first or
yeah,
something. And then watching all the videos and seeing all the interviews, the fact that it was caught live on television is pretty wild. Um,
so nuts.
absolutely crazy. But yeah,
So nuts.
it's going to just lead to a really hard push in the other direction. I mean, Biden already is not looking good with his latest gaffes about calling Harris Trump and Zelensky
Yeah,
Putin.
we'll play that video too, and then we'll also go through some of the Trump stuff that we can find.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
if we have
he
time.
was, this is probably just going to give Trump even more support because
As
that's the
usual.
way the world works.
Yeah, as usual. Everything they've tried to do to him, everything they tried to do has made him more popular and people supporting him even more. And this is the same thing.
Yep.
And especially that he's like, wait, and he's like, and he put his hands up. He's like, fight.
Yeah, yeah,
The
and
guy is
you
such a
got the whole.
marketer.
He is a really good marketer, regardless of how he is as a politician. The guy does know how to market himself.
Yeah,
I mean, he got the whole crowd chanting USA as he's fighting his own
right.
secret service as he's fist pumping and getting the crowd going. That's pretty wild stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to you know
Yeah, I know.
go
But
full Republican here, but could you imagine Biden doing the same thing? I mean, the
he would
guy
have
can.
ran in a second.
He wouldn't have ran. He can't move.
Or whatever, it limped his way or
Yeah.
carried away
He just
without doing that though.
Yeah, you want to talk about like low energy versus high energy. I mean, here's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, and 50,000 people were there.
Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to cover that and a lot more on today's episode of Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Yes,
Uh,
and we'll be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say this is episode 80,
Yes, it is
the big 80.
July 14th, 2024, and we'll be covering the Turkish UFO incident today in depth,
Woohoo!
and then we'll move on. There was a lot of UFO sightings. There was also you sent me that. It's funny. You sent me that link to that Mexican city that
Mhm.
says they're protected by aliens, and there was a UFO filmed. I think yesterday from that
Right
city.
there, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go through that. Yeah, and lots of other UFO news, and then Trump. We'll go in there and just see what we can find and what people are talking about. It's crazy to watch these events happen on social media these days because no one even cares what authority. I mean, they do kind of care what the authorities say, but it's all crowdsourced,
Mhm.
and things are found out so quickly that it was never like that in the past. We just had to sit there and wait for the press release.
Yeah, you'd have to wait for the papers to print the story the next day.
Right. And the press conference, you have to wait for them to come out and say the press conference and answer questions. And, we can't talk about that. But, the people now have probably more information than the authorities do because,
Yeah.
and plus they hide stuff.
So before I forget, that is I Have a Need to Know, Adam.
Hey, everyone.
And I am Topher, which is now trademarked.
Nice. How'd you get that?
Lots of money and blackmail.
That's the way to do it, cuz that's the way to do it. I'm glad you're hopping on that train.
So anytime anyone uses the word Topher or the name Topher, they have to pay me 5 cents everywhere in the
All right.
world.
Hey man, at volume, anywhere in the world, right? So at volume,
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily be making, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll be a billionaire by the end of
10K.
this podcast.
Trademarks are great. They're not easy, by the way. I've tried like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, and they're tough. I mean, they'll go and they'll search other websites and say, "Oh, it's too close to this," and it's not an easy thing to do. So I'm shocked, but no, I'm not shocked because the big companies always get it. Like I'm like I look at the Aldi, right?
Yeah.
It's okay, so it's like a for our listeners. Well, in Europe they know what it is, but now it's here. It's in California, so it's a German brand.
Yeah.
But they have their own products, but they copy big brands. And they have these names that look exactly like Kraft or something. Oh, they even like copy Costco Kirkland. I think it's called Kirkwood.
I was just going to bring up Costco. I mean, they don't copy the brand names exactly, but like Costco's got Kirkland, the Albertsons I always go to. They've got Signature, I think it's called.
Right, Signature, right, and then Kroger is at Ralph's. No, but like they have different names for different products, and it looks exactly like a competitor. And I'm like, how do they get this stuff trademarked? Like, it looks exactly like it, and it's too similar, but they do it because they have
Wow.
lawyers.
I had
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing. I don't think I've ever stepped foot in LD.
Dude, it's so cheap, especially with inflation going on. It's easily 50% cheaper than anyone else.
Well, that's something. I'll have to find an Aldi close by, maybe.
I think in Tustin, there's one in Tustin.
That's not very close by.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right. Anyway, so moving on. So just an update from last week. I sent this to you, but I didn't tell our listeners when we were doing the Belgium UFO UFO incident or wave. We asked questions like, were there like transferring of nukes going on or whatever? But I did find something. Oh, great! Do you hear that?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. All right. So I did find that a month after the incidents, there was a NATO meeting in Brussels. Okay, right here, NATO headquarters. So nuclear planning group met in ministerial session at NATO headquarters in Brussels on 19th and 20th of April, 1989. So only 1 month after, and they discussed possibility of further significant reductions in NATO's total nuclear weapons requirements. So I was like, man, did they, was that like intimidation by UFOs, to tell them that that's what they need to do? Or so yeah, it's just a very crazy coincidence that happened a month after.
And you had talked about it during last week's episode. I mean, and it's something we've touched a lot about on the show. These UFOs really do seem super interested in our nuclear technology.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of, it kind of seems like they're in control. It's like don't do that, or else kind of thing.
Yeah,
something weird like that. So yeah, I thought that was strange. But I had fun looking at that Belgium UFO.
Yeah, it was really cool. I did not have much knowledge about that case, so it was fun to dive into it. This one, however, is very, very famous.
Yep.
It's incredible. It's never been debunked. There is a interesting. It's not really interesting. There's a theory as to what it could have been. Essentially, an optical illusion of a cruise ship, which I don't agree with, but I can understand.
Right. Yeah. Because it's in the middle of the sea, right?
And especially if you do look at the profile of a cruise ship as to what they're comparing it to, it does look very similar. And it is in the middle of the ocean, not the ocean, the sea. It was in the it was in the Mediterranean, right?
The Black Sea. Is that the Mediterranean right here?
No, that's not I was looking at that map. That's definitely not the Mediterranean.
It's not. Yeah. So I think it's the Black Sea. Maybe. Wait, does it say here? The objects in the footage have the structure of a specific material that is definitely not made up by any kind of computer animation, balloon, prop, model, or special effects used for simulation in the studio. That's the Science and Technology Research Board of Turkey.
TÜBİTAK.
Yeah, TÜBİTAK. So, all right.
I guess it was over a body of water. That's all we're trying to say.
It was over a body of water. It happened over many days. And cruise ships usually can't move very fast unless it was multiple cruise ships,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, cruise ships, they cruise. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's not fast moving, but it wouldn't be in the same place, over a long period of time. And they were so zoomed in on this thing. So we've got video and obviously pictures of this Turkey case because it did happen somewhat recently. This was 2007, 2008.
Yep.
2007 to 2009. I didn't realize
2 year period. Yeah.
And it's officially called the Kumburgas. It looks like Kumburgers.
Kumburgers.
Kumburgas. Kumburgas. That's probably a lot more accurate.
Yeah, Kumburgas case, 2007, 2009. All right, so this is a great site. I like to get the ones that have everything in it, so we can go through everything. So what's the first video here? This is probably, it looks like it's a news clip. Sightings over Turkey part 1. Oh wait, this is 15 minutes. All right, so we don't have to go through all of it, but maybe we can
if we can just get to some of the more popular footage.
Sea of Marmara.
Between 2007 and 2009, there were many UFOs reported across Turkey because they probably were getting their nuke program going.
Yeah.
Sightings continued for several days and nights. So it wasn't this 2007 2000. Okay, the whole wave was 2007 2009.
Yeah.
The most famous one was just over a few nights.
Yeah.
Several minutes of detailed video was taken. Here is what happened.
Here's what happened.
Hopefully, it goes straight into the footage.
Yeah.
Never before seen footage of UFO
Nope.
sightings this year are being shown at a conference in Pontefract.
Tell me about
Whoa.
this footage and why you think it's important.
Well, this extraordinary incident took place in Kumburgaz in Istanbul. It's a compound in Kumburgaz, and it was witnessed by many people who live in the compound, and it was filmed by the security guard for almost 3 hours within the period of time, like 2.5 to 3 months. And the footages are so interesting and so amazing because we don't just see the lights in the sky, we see in the close-up the outline of the object. Very clearly, the structure of the object is so clear, and also in June 12th dated footage, the UFO puts a show and it turns its lights back and forth again from one side to another. This is amazing footage. And it's been analyzed, the whole footage has been analyzed from our scientific board for 2.5 weeks. It went frame by frame, went pixel by pixel, and this is 100% genuine footage.
Wow, that's really zoomed in. 3:54 a.m. Man, they love this to be
the witching hour.
Yeah.
I think the witching hour is 2 to 4, but yeah, here's a bunch of different photos of the event. I mean, they were seeing this during the day, they were seeing this during the night. Very, very wild stuff.
Here's July 2nd, 2008 sighting. And these cameras are camcorders. Wow. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so is this the moonlight?
You know, I'm not sure. I've never been clear on that, if it's glowing itself or it's reflecting the moonlight, because it clearly is pretty well lit.
Yeah. 3:53 in the morning.
Do you think you could zoom ahead? The most famous picture or video, it's the one where you can see that there's like portholes on the side of it. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. This one. That's right. Yeah, and this guy was there too.
If this is the video,
Roger Lear,
which is called a Comburgus video, which is a
what I wanted to hear, I wanted to know.
Up on my website. Unfortunately, the one that's the depiction that's up there is not as clear as the other footage I have.
No, it's got portholes. You said.
Switch it.
Yeah, there's footage.
The one that shows the aliens. This one? There they are.
This one?
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
And this thing has to be large. I mean, if it's that far away, even if you're zoomed in.
Mm-hmm. Especially, you know, I know 2000. I said at the beginning, 2007, 2008. It's not that long ago, and it's not. But camcorders were just okay back then. They're not like, you know, what we have now. So to capture, you know, this at this size and this clearly means that thing had to be huge.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. All right. So here's the intro. 2009 original video footage. All right. So this one doesn't look like it's the craft. This looks like it's the lights. 2:19 in the morning, May 13. Yeah, it looks like it's just the lights.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, there's a craft there. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yep, there they are.
So creepy.
What? Did you ever see like the real when they blow up these heads
and
they see the faces?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
Because it could be just an optical illusion, right?
Right. It's pareidolia. Or pareidolia. I can't remember how to pronounce it.
Pareidolia, yeah. So as you can see, it is a camcorder. He's trying to focus. This thing is really far. But it's clearly a craft that's curved and metallic.
Yeah, and you can kind of see what looks like the bottom of it at the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah. So the light, I guess it's his focus, right? That keeps doing this. It's not really, yeah. So, but Are these beings, you think, or is it just
I don't know.
impossible to know?
It's impossible to tell. It could just be, the brain trying to see what they want to see, because like you just said, it's clear, it's not completely it's not clear, it's not completely focused.
Yeah,
And so
and plus those would be huge heads,
yeah, that's why I don't
right?
really, yeah. Yeah, I mean, those would be some real big aliens or something. I don't really know.
It's what's crazy about it is it's clear they don't care that the guy is taking a video of them. It's not like, I mean, what we've seen in the past is that they notice when they're being filmed or being watched, and they cloak themselves,
or they zip off.
Yeah, so it's strange to see that there's allowing this guy to film over multiple hours. All right, so this is the same one. Yeah, I'm really interested now to see if the moon was out, because if it's glowing by itself, that even adds more to it. Mm-hmm. Although, well, people are saying it could be the front of a cruise ship that's lit up.
Right.
But why is only the top lit?
I don't know. Well, if you think of a cruise ship, it's not like the bottom of the boat that's in the water is lit up.
Yeah, right. And are they curved?
Like if this is a ship that's coming straight at you or something. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. I don't know if anyone has looked into if there were cruise ships in the area that day.
Yeah, they did. I remember reading a really long post about it. And there was, but not in the exact same area. Whoa. What did I do? Okay, so now it turned into lights? Is this the same?
The last one was May 13th, right? This is May 15th.
Okay, so this is the next day. The thing about lights is, especially in the ocean, it really could be anything. It could be a fishing boat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that is weird.
And so this is at almost 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's holding his camera up to a telescope or something, yeah?
Right? Yeah, I think he did use a telescope. What is he doing up at 5 in the morning?
I don't know. If I saw that at 3 in the morning, I'd be up for days.
Yeah, especially if you have clear footage of it. I wonder if this guy got paid.
Got paid in exposure.
All right, what's this one? Here it is. Oh, it really does look like it's something like someone, though, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Still really cool footage. Crazy that it's now the most recent thing was May 17th. So I mean, this is definitely over the course of a few days.
And here's the location. Turkey's here.
Mm-hmm.
These are the location of. They're saying it's 2, I guess, not just 1.
2 different spots it was seen at, I think.
Approximate location and vantage point of the camera. Estimate location here. Yep, you're right. See, so there was a telescope.
Reports were filed with the Serious UFO and Space Research Group, which is Turkey's primary UFO reporting organization, run by Haktan Akbergen. Also, the videos were analyzed by the Scientific and Technology Research Board of Turkey and TUG National Observatory, which are both sponsored by the state and highly influential. They reviewed the originals with the goal of finding evidence of forgery, but interestingly came away with results that actually supported the authenticity instead. The original film cassettes have also been studied by people from Japan, Chile, Brazil, and Russia. After several attempts so far, nobody has been able to successfully demonstrate evidence of a hoax, fraud, or manipulation, leaving the case still unidentified.
That's 2008 sightings and video footage. So the previous year, a number of sightings took place between May 22nd and September 28th of anomalous aerial activity. Yeltsin worked the night shift near the Yeni Kent facility, located on the shore of Kumburgaz, which gave him a good vantage point. But when the sightings started to take place, it began catching the interest of the local residents, and more people began to take notice. Similar to 2007, the 2008 sightings were discussed in the Turkish national media, even on CNN, while soon gaining interest from the local Turkish scientific and astronomy community, who ended up analyzing the footage. There were different individual segments over a 3-year period. Posted below are the most significant ones in a condensed format. However, a link is provided for the longer footage. So wait. So what we watched up here is 2009. All right. So a year before in 2008. So it's weird. So it can't. All right. I'm not saying it can't be like a ship, but they'll be able to recognize if it's a ship.
Yeah.
All right, so this is 2008, video 1 of 3. Sea of Marmara. That's what it's called. Oh, there's the moon. Okay. It was a full moon.
Nice.
That makes sense.
That's why it's well lit.
Yep. What are they, soaking up the moon?
Who knows? It is just sunlight.
I'm sure someone has stabilized these videos.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's the same object on a much, different date.
Yeah, exactly. May 27th, 2008. A year before.
Now, they should have. Did they do any investigating of the body of water where that approximately is? Throw a little submarine or a drone down there?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they just surfaced instead of them coming from somewhere. It's just surfacing.
Or they're they're interacting with something underneath the water.
Yeah,
base possibly.
The Sea of Marmara. Okay, we should look into that. There's a base.
Let's go there.
Or something.
Let's go.
Because I know. Let's go investigate.
Yeah,
the Turks would definitely question us.
Oh yeah.
What are you guys? Their accent sounds like it's like Urdu, like Pakistani. It sounds like like that.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Anything else going on here? Basically the same object,
Mm-hmm.
and he's zoomed in a lot because you see nothing here.
Right.
And now lights again.
It is interesting that in both of these cases, it's the same thing where you have this odd-shaped object in the night, and then come morning, it's those orange lights, dotting the horizon.
Yeah, maybe the cloaking wasn't working or something, and didn't know.
Or the charger light was showing that it was full.
All right, so that's part 1, and part 2, it looks like it's the same thing. So this is
that's the bizarre thing about this is it really is the same thing. It's a little brighter, but it's still that same shape.
The dull gray.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking. I did read some comments.
Did he say anything of note?
The what?
Did he say anything of note?
Well, they said that he sounded sincere, and his commentary was just like how everyone else would react. So it was nothing over the ordinary, out of the ordinary. So June 12th.
He didn't react like that guy whose video we played a few months back where he was, oh, look at you. Come hang out. Stay for a while.
Oh, yeah, that guy. He was so peaceful. He's like, thank you. Peace be up. All right, so this one's a bit different.
Yeah. Same shape, though. Same kind of bizarre footage. Man, I can't get over how weird looking it is.
Exactly how alien it is. All right, what's this now?
Same thing. It's just not zoomed in.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that the moon? All right, you're right. And see, so once the morning comes by, then it's just a string of lights.
Yeah.
Now it could be also because fog.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure.
But it's the same location, and now it's just lights.
Very strange. Very, very strange.
It really is.
And again, I think the fact that it's in the same location for a few hours makes it not a cruise ship.
Right. The next day, a glowing ball of orange-red plasma type light is motionless in the sky for several minutes, leaving a bright reflection. Yeah, dude, there's got to be something in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be. And, I don't know if they're still having sightings there or they got rid of whatever was there to begin with.
Yeah, maybe this was them, shutting down the base permanently.
Yeah. July 2nd, 2008. So it's the same one, still there.
Same with the lights, man.
Yeah,
and that one is cool because you can see it's reflecting off the water. So
yeah,
it must be pretty low to the water there.
Right. at 3 in the morning, and then again at 5 in the morning when it's light, when the light's out.
Mm-hmm.
We just see lights instead of the actual new upload. 20 interesting parts. All right, they're probably the same. Turkey witnesses.
Oh, well, let's see what the witnesses say. I'd be interested in that.
En el complejo turístico Kenny Kent pudimos encontrar algo.
We're gonna have to do it like last week. You gotta start over. We went to the tourist complex Yenny Kent to find the people who accompanied Yeltsin Yelman, the cameraman.
Yeltsin.
The single man who filmed extraordinary evidence.
And that's weird too. It's just one guy.
Demonstrating the authenticity of this case. All right.
All right.
Haktan. These are some of the people who saw it. All the kids witnessed the UFO fly over the water.
All right. Maybe I don't have to pause.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's slow. Yeah, it's slow enough.
This is the compound just here in this place by the beach. Is where Yeltsin Yelman shoot. I'm assuming where he filmed. Usually they appeared over the sea here and went upward silently to finish around this place, then headed towards the city. It's a shame no one got that part on camera.
Yeah.
Many people saw it fly over the housing complex here, and one of them here is going to talk.
Really?
Witness. The first time I saw them between 3 and 5:30 a.m., but not every night. I have been witness to this as they had their lights on. They were backing up. They had the reverse lights on. Reporter, what are your comments about what you saw? Witness, I don't agree with what the skeptics say because I know I saw them with my own 2 eyes.
Mm-hmm. Don't believe your lying eyes, guys.
Haktan, 4 more people spotted UFOs with you when it was recorded. Is that true? Witness, yes, I saw it. There's no doubt it was real. Reporter asks Yeltsin, when you record them, what did you think? Yeltsin said, I'd seen it 7 times in 3 years. I've recorded several times with people who were there, other witnesses, and I calculate there are around 20 people total.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. Seriously, invite us. If you guys are seeing UFOs regularly, invite us out. We'd love to come hang out and see some UFOs. This guy says, I saw a very intense, extremely bright light. It stayed there in the sky.
Lights in the sky.
By the way it moved, I think this definitely goes against the laws of gravity. Yeah.
Right.
After staying there for a while, it started to grow bigger like this, and then it suddenly disappeared. Very common with UFO sightings. Reporter, what do the local inhabitants think about Yeltsin Yaman?
Good question.
He spends most of his time recording. He is usually accompanied by witnesses. That is the reason we are convinced that this is about authentic objects. We are eyewitnesses of it.
All right. So it looks like he had the camera in the town.
Mm-hmm.
This is much slower.
How important do you think this is? As the reporter asks him. What I saw is very significant for me, and it also very significant for humanity.
Preach.
Yeah. Well, cool stuff. We got to hear from some of the witnesses there.
Yeah. And what's this now? Serious UFO space science research. All right. They did summarize this before though. So it was analyzed by the Turkish researchers, and they concluded, and it is concluded that these objects in the sightings that have physical and material structures do not belong in any category such as planes, helicopters, meteors, Venus, Mars, satellites, fireballs, Chinese lanterns, fireballs again, weather balloons, natural or atmospheric phenomenon, etc., but rather fall into the category of UFOs. And here's the link. So here's a video explanation by Haktan Agdugan. Turkish researcher Haktan Agdugan and the cameraman Yeltsin Yelman discuss several issues in more detail. You want to watch this, or you want to keep going?
Let's see how long it is.
Okay, yeah. Well, 13 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, and it's in Turkish.
We'll point our viewers towards this site, or listeners
Yeah.
to this site, and they can check out some of these videos themselves. This is going into the details of the camera. I mean, it looks like a high-end video recorder from 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Mini DV Canon.
On the NTSC system with a diaphragm set at the maximum of 1.8. It's a 3 CCD, 20 times optic, 100 times with a teleconverter mounted on a 58 millimeter adapter. The teleobjective is a Sony brand VCI HGD 1758 model lens times 1.7. So cool. I mean, yeah, like you said, it was high end, and he used a teleconverter, so he can really zoom in.
Mhm.
And he maybe didn't expect someone would have something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Turkish military does.
Yeah.
So that's
not just your regular average Joe.
right.
So it looks like there was another sighting here on May 14th in 2009. So a year after this. During the 2009 International UFO Congress held in Istanbul, the following sighting occurred. A crowd of onlookers watched a glowing ball of light maneuver near cloud level. It was that night and into the morning of May 15, 2009, when more unknown objects continued being seen and filmed over Marmara.
Do you think that's like a show for like the UFO? Congress?
It could be. One of my favorite UFO cases is the one, or I guess abduction cases. The Coronado Group abduction, where there was a bunch of UFO. Have you heard of this one?
Maybe
It happened in California.
Yeah. What happened?
A bunch of people were attending a UFO convention, and they all got abducted from their rooms.
What? I didn't know. I don't know about this one.
How do you not know? That's like really famous because Bill Clinton was staying at the same hotel or something.
That's bizarre. So, and they all got abducted.
So they woke up the morning after it happened. Of course, had no memories of it, but they were all feeling sick. Some of them woke up in really weird positions. They had marks on their bodies. Some guy's ear was bleeding, and then another guy's lip or chin or something was bleeding, and they couldn't figure out how they were all sick and injured. And then they went and all had what's the thing? Not therapy, hypnosis.
Oh yeah, hypnosis
done on them, and they all had been abducted as a group. It's a pretty cool story. It's a lot of fun.
We should look into it then, maybe.
I have looked into it a lot. I'm surprised.
No, I mean like for the show, like because I don't know about it, so I'd like to get into it.
All right, cool. Yeah, maybe we can do that one next week.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and then what also comes to mind, there was another one in the 60s. In Edwards Air Force Base, scientists gathered there for also like a symposium at the base, but then UFOs showed up, and they thought that they must have been putting on a show for these scientists. So I think there is an element of that with the phenomenon. Sometimes it just likes to put on shows.
And if we want to, like me, if you subscribe to the we're half the phenomena theory, if you get enough people in one location with the same energy, essentially asking for UFOs to show up, you may not say, "Hey, UFOs, come here," but when your mind is open to it like that, they as a way in.
Right, exactly. You're open to it. So I guess this happened then it was that night and into the morning of May 15, 2009, when more unknown objects continued being seen and filmed. Remember, okay, so the new Turkey UFO has surfaced. It was taken on May 14th, 2009. This is the one with Roger Lear, right?
I believe so.
And for those who don't know what Roger Lear is, he removed alien implants from people. God, this footage sucks. Where are they? Where?
They did say it was going to be low quality.
Oh, okay. It's like some light.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Ton of witnesses. It's an orb. It's a glowing orb, which is usually the reconnaissance.
Mm-hmm. It's a Foo Fighter.
Yeah. And there's a closer.
Do do do do do do do.
Do do do do do do. All right. So there's that. So same. Oh, the distance across the sea from the witness location is 44 to 91 nautical miles.
That's a pretty big. Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at the map here. Wow.
A photograph from the same location displays how land structures on the opposite side of Marmara are not clearly visible when viewed from Kumburgaz.
This is really good documentation.
Yeah.
Shows the approximate location. That's good.
For the July 2nd one, new evidence suggests that the Turkey UFO wasn't a cruise ship. Oh,
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's the main argument that skeptics use for this case, is they say it was a cruise ship. I know I touched on that earlier, but worth repeating, I suppose.
do you want me to click into that?
Yeah, let's see what that says.
All right, so they have the pictures, the different pictures.
The moon is a reference point. Hold on, scroll down to the thing. The moon as a reference point is often used by astronomers to estimate the angular elevation of objects in the night sky, such as airplanes, helicopters, celestial objects. Skip all that. During the May 17th, 2009 segment, the moon and the unknown object are filmed in the same frame for several minutes. This can be used to see how far the object was above the horizon. It could theoretically decide if it was too high in altitude, or if the object was on the horizon, it could support the cruise ship theory. The results are posted below.
Oh,
There's the moon versus the UFO
okay.
on May 17th, 2009. They're talking about angles here.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's the reflection. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Shows how it's reflecting the moonlight. This is determining the lunar's position, or the moon's lunar position. We don't have to, I'm not going to read that whole thing. It's just a bunch of numbers. Just showing where it is in the night sky. And showing, okay, yada, yada, yada. They're doing all that. They're showing all the math and diagrams they need to figure out how high the UFO was. And, it, you measure the moon's angle and yada, yada, yada. A distant ship beyond the curvature of the Earth as Alico. So that goes, excuse me, that goes along with the cruise ship theory. Is there's something there? It's a true phenomenon, and I don't remember what it's called. But when you
when they float or something,
it looks like things are floating, and it has to do with, I don't even understand how it works.
It's something in the atmosphere inversion or something, right? When it's hot and cold. Yeah,
it's a real phenomenon that is proven to exist. It does happen, where you look at something really far in the ocean, and it looks like it's floating above the ocean because light and atmosphere and gravity and quaaludes, and I don't know how it works exactly, but it is a real phenomenon. But so that goes in with the cruise ship theory, is that it looks like it's higher than it is because it's that same atmosphere inversion or whatever the hell it is. Still going through.
But here, just going back here, see, so cruise ship theory shows the ship should be there, right, over the horizon. Actual elevation is 7.9 degrees, which is way up,
way higher than what a cruise ship would be, even with the that optical illusion in effect. It's something like Morgata, I think. It doesn't matter.
So now that the angular elevation of the moon is known, a frame from the video also shows the unknown object 7.9 degrees above the horizon. Okay. So now they recreated these. So
I'm trying to figure out if this is worth reading or going through. Essentially, what they've proven here is that what the UFO that they're seeing was much too high to be a cruise ship.
And then weather conditions, I guess they're trying to prove winds, speeds, because it has to be anchored. Oh, here's a cruise ship. So the unknown object was too high above the horizon to be a distant cruise ship or yacht.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. All right, but let's go back to the other one. Oh, and here the ports. I remember that.
Oh, there's cruise ship. Marina is hidden from view. So more things to prove that the cruise ship theory is incorrect.
Right, because here's the port here and here's the witness here. The marina used for visiting cruise ships is the port of Karakoy, but that is in the Bosphorus Strait, which cannot physically be seen from the witness location. Man, debunkers can really just come up with anything, huh? And you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Look how much effort the debunking debunkers did.
Yeah.
Now here they are talking about marine tracking. They had to do research on how that works. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff.
Look at that. Yeah, they went through, you're right. They went through so they went and found all the ships that were there at that time. And I guess
not just cruise ships either. It looks like yachts, tankers. I mean, they listed several different boats.
So here they are. Here are the boats. All of these are here, and unknown object was here. So none of them are in that area. Right. What are the chances where this thing is right here? Well, I guess it wants to be far away from all these ships.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, chances of it being far away from everything, I would imagine, are pretty high because they don't want to be hanging out around a cruise ship.
Exactly. So there's no evidence that a cruise ship or yacht was in visual range of the camera at 3:59 a.m. on May 13, 2009. Secondly, Other vessels, tankers, fishing, or bulk carrier were either out of view or not visible in the sighting area while the footage was taken. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, we can go back to the next.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah, that is good stuff. I'm glad we were able to prove that. 2007. So this is a year before that now.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where the beings are. Serious UFO.
So.
All right, nothing new, but kind of. I love the shape of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think it's like a classic saucer shape? Oh,
yeah, I think so. It sure looks like it.
And I guess this is some orb.
Oh, wait, go back. Right there. That's the one. No. Sorry, go back, like straight down. All right, keep going. That one right there. I think that one. Yeah, like right around there. That's the image I always have in my brain of this sighting, where it's like kind of greenish.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for the moon, he wouldn't have seen this.
Right. So even a year before, all those videos we just watched, people were still, and it's still the same shape, same same looking thing,
and same location.
Same location, yeah.
You'd think the government would go down into those waters and figure out what's happening there, or they know, and maybe it's they took permission from them saying we're going to anchor here.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Years.
They've been told, "Hey, leave us alone. We're going to be parked here for a couple years."
Right. And watch your people.
Do you guys validate parking?
Maybe the unearthed. Ooh, look at that color.
Nice.
Maybe the unearthed Göbekli Tepe.
There it is.
When was that? When was that found out?
Ooh, good question. I have no idea.
Ooh, I'm going to.
I'll have to rewatch that episode of the Y-Files.
When was Göbekli Tepe discovered? There it is. 1994. Wow, that was a long while ago.
Yeah. But still fairly recent, though.
Yeah. All right. I think this is probably the best documented case of a craft. And it can't be debunked.
And it helps that it was somewhat recent, so we're not trying to find, like, that's the problem with Roswell nowadays is you're talking to descendants of people who were there at Roswell, not the actual people.
Right, and then they're always saying, "Well, we were working on very advanced stuff back then, just not anymore, I guess."
Yeah.
Tubi Tech released their analysis on national television. All right, we read that they didn't find any hoaxing in those videos.
What's interesting is it looks like they came at it believing it was a hoax at first.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool. So they came in with the opinion it was a hoax, and normally that means no matter what they're going to say it was a hoax. But they left going like, man, we can't figure out what this was. It wasn't a hoax. It wasn't faked.
Yeah, and this is their report, or a summary of the report. 2-page Tubi Tech report. May 15th, day and night similarities. So what are they saying here? The May 15th, 2009 video begins while it's dark outside at 4:59 a.m., then continues to film until after sunrise at 5:32 a.m. With the camera facing the same direction, we finally see the horizon and more details on its location. For an unknown reason, what previously appeared as a metallic oval craft is now 4 orange lights in a semicircle. One speculation is that it's a plasma effect caused by the craft changing configuration or a reaction to the sun in different environments. When combining the shape of both the day and night objects, the similarities are interesting. It may be a possibility that it's one craft and not 2 objects. There has yet to be any further explanation.
Yeah, I still think it's one craft.
Yeah, me too. So there it is. They're matching it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it must be some plasma because if it is an anti-gravity craft, it's going to generate plasma, and then probably at the highest points, that's what it's going to glow, and it looks like different lights. I've seen those over the Pacific. These things.
Yeah, it's pretty common. That's probably why when you see lights in the sky, there's no object. You're just looking at the lights because the rest of it's cloaked, but it's that's what's coming off of it.
What's this? Turkey UFO changes. Witness films this. So what? It morphs?
I think it changes from the full thing just to just the lights floating.
Oh, like immediately? Or no? Okay.
No, I
doesn't
think
do
it's no. I don't. I think it probably
that.
fades into just those 4 lights.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Very cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. And again, you know, it doesn't seem hoax because you'd have to know all that information.
That was Roger Lear up there. Do you want to talk?
You want to
about
listen to him?
Yeah, let's see what he says. He was on Coast to Coast with George Knapp.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
On the internet, there is a video from 2008. Now, this video, some people say it's hoaxed. Some people say it's the real deal. I don't know whether you know or not, whether it's the real deal or not, but it certainly is one of the best videos we've ever seen close up of what purports to be a UFO. Do you know anything about that one? It's supposed to be from Istanbul, Turkey.
If this is the video, which is called a Comburgus video, which is a close-up of a craft, in fact, so close that you can see the occupants, it is 100% real, and I was there as that was filmed.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to know.
Up on my website. Unfortunately, the one that's the depiction that's up there is not as clear as the other footage I have, and we're going to switch it soon. The one I have is the clearest footage of it. Also, I think the audience would like to know that footage was taken by the Cirrus UFO organization to a university in Istanbul, and their optical physicists went over that with a fine-tooth comb, and it was on all the major television broadcasts in Turkey that that was the real McCoy. There was no faking. There was no trickery of the camera. There was not an aberration. It was not a frisbee. It talked about the reflected light off of the craft, which was coming from the full moon, and that the areas where you see the occupants are some kind of a backlighting.
Okay, now you said you were there when this was filmed. How close did this thing get to you and whoever else was there observing it?
Not as close as you might see from the footage. We were on the beach and filming out over the water. And what we saw is something bright that was under the moon. So let's say the moon was the size of a dime. This would have been the size of a flashlight. And we were more interested at that point in the moon than the little bright light that was under it. But the camera that we were using had a 400 millimeter lens on it and an electronic doubler. So as we pushed on the craft, which means focused or on the craft, it got more clear and more clear and more clear. And when we centered on it, those are the shots that became famous.
Wow, look at that thing.
Were you astounded when you saw the video?
Oh, yeah. You can hear us, the exclamations being made. It's up on YouTube. It's been up for some time, but you can hear the exclamations made both in Turkish and in English for those of us that were standing there, because we were looking at it on the monitor for the camera.
How many people were there?
Oh, at that point, we must have had between 6 and 8 people.
Cool.
Very cool.
So Roger Lear, unfortunately, I think he passed away during COVID, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was a legend. He I think did 2 or 3 documentaries about removing implants, alien implants in people. He right there on camera. Of course, many people said he hoaxed it. You know, you have those people.
Of course.
And that he was crazy. So let's see what else we have. The barking dog. Why is this? Notice the barking dog's reaction.
Hold on, what's the paragraph above it say? Oh, never mind. I thought it would be having to deal with this video.
Okay.
Sounds like I'm sure the dog freaked out when.
Yeah, when it was. But if it's far away. But anyway, let's see this video. Oh yeah! Look at him.
Yeah, he's barking at it.
His tail's wagging though. He's happy.
He thinks it's a frisbee that he just can't quite reach.
Man, Turkey, they're so cool with dogs, by the way.
That's awesome.
Well, maybe not cool. Just quickly, when I visited, I saw German shepherds just walking around. You know what I mean, like wild dogs. Okay, but I noticed because that even like the homeless and stuff, they were really taking care of the dogs. They were sweet to them. They were feeding them, which you don't see usually in countries in that region. Let's just say that. So yeah, it was cool to see. Good dog. Go get that alien.
Go get him.
Go get him. Rip and tear. All right.
I mean, I just can't get over that. That footage is great.
It is. It's perfect. And this is what he was using right here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Yeltsin Yalman.
Yalman.
Yalman. It's like, yeah. Remember we used to on one of the podcasts we were on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
So anyway, there's a lot of obviously a lot of footage associated with this. We went through a lot of the witnessed details. We went through some of the debunking. This is a really cool event that has no rational explanation. I mean, as best as anyone could tell, this was a true to God UFO.
Yeah, I think it is. So I don't think this one is fake. I think this one is real. Something very strange happened.
Yeah, and I think what makes it real for me is how freaking bizarre it is. This UFO just shows up for a few days, a couple days, once a year for 3 years straight. 2007 was May or March, and then it was May again, and then it was June. I mean, something's going on out there.
Exactly, and then that's it, right? I mean, since then we haven't seen another. Yeah.
Aliens were on spring break, coming back to say hi to mom
and
dad
in Turkey. I mean, people do go to the Mediterranean side of Turkey for spring break. It's a beautiful country. It's huge. It's green. It has water. The people there are smart. They're young. I mean, it's a really impressive country. I was impressed by it.
Yeah, that whole Mediterranean region. I know we're biased, but huge fans.
Yeah, and well, Istanbul is crazy. I mean, it's way too hectic. I think it's 20 million people there. The traffic, the noise. I mean, it is hectic.
Yeah,
but the food is so good. The food is something else. I wanted to ask you: did we play this before? The guy who designed the Roswell craft from the Roswell show, he did an interview where he researched it, and basically, it's not a disc; it's a winged craft.
I hadn't heard that. I don't think we talked about this.
Okay, so Roswell UFO crash was not a disc. It was a winged vehicle. Ben Rich, former CEO of Lockheed Martin, agreed. It was a Rosetta Stone, the holy grail of aerospace design, according to William McDonald, concept designer for movie Roswell, 1993.
William McDonald worked with Tester's company to design an authentic model based on
that's just Aurora.
Craft.
Yeah, exactly.
1993.
Or the B-52, or the B-52. The B-2 bomber, right?
Right.
And these things here, I mean, Lockheed Martin just released a video this year saying that they have metamaterial like this.
So weird.
Obviously, it's from this craft.
I was hired as the concept designer to the movie Roswell. And after completing that assignment, I decided to find out what the real spacecraft and the real bodies looked like, having nothing to do with the film. My research took me into a 4-year journey of interviewing military officers and other researchers who supplied with me the data that I needed to do full forensic composites of what the flight crew and the spacecraft looked like that crashed at Roswell on July 4th, 1947 at 11 o'clock in the evening. Much to my surprise, it was not a disc. It was a winged vehicle, a wave rider, one of those lifting body transatmospheric, high-speed recon type of vehicles. It was amazing what we came up with. It was extremely unique. We found out many years later that everybody, including Ben Rich, knew that this vehicle had been the design Rosetta Stone, the holy grail of aerospace designs. We found that inside this vehicle had microprocessors that looked like the neuroganglia tissue that you see in a human brain. The entire vehicle was found to have biomorphic characteristics, those being called biomimetic or biomimicry. This vehicle, when by itself, exhibited artificial intelligence, but when you plugged all 7 flight crew members into all 7 flight crew stations, you had an interface between their physical bodies and the neurological structure of the spacecraft, which was exotic metal and non-organic components, mostly crystalline metals in exotic mixtures. That way, the vehicle became, in essence, akin to a living being with multiple brain nodes.
Very cool stuff. I mean, we also have talked about that on the show, about the UFOs themselves being some form of life.
It would have to be, right? I mean, if you're gonna go at those speeds and then interstellar or interplanetary, you'd need something that is also aware, or that can react as a living, functioning being, right? Because I don't know, you can't have mistakes.
Well, see, the last part of your comment there, I think, shows the opposite. At least for humans, is that's why we rely on computers so much for everything, because computers if you program it to do something, unless the programming is faulty, it does the thing. That's why our International Space Station is not some sort of humanoid creature thing. It's machinery.
Right. Yeah.
But it is interesting. Had some form of limited intelligence until you plug it in, or you plug the beans into it, and then it becomes a full-fledged creature. That's pretty wild stuff.
That is crazy.
I love that. That's cool.
This is Malmstrom Air Force Base incident. So we all know Robert Salas. He's been talking about this for a while. He's one of the guys who manned the silos, but he was talking also to Fred Mywald, I think, which is his boss. I guess he's a colonel or something like that. Does it say here? Mywald. Wait. Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the colonel. Debriefed about the incident in Malmstrom Oscar's flight. Malmstrom, is this the one in Montana?
I don't know.
Mywald confirmed that shortly after the malfunctions occurred, a 2-man security alert team was sent out to one of the flight's missile silos to investigate a tripped alarm there. Upon approaching the site, the team saw a second or the same UFO hovering near it, whereupon they became frightened and quickly returned to the launch control facility. They're like, screw this.
Not very good soldiers. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Shoot at that? I guess, yeah, shoot at that.
Yeah, shoot them.
All right, I think hopefully the audio is good.
All right, here's the
no, it's not.
I remember receiving a call first, and the security guard said, I've seen some UFOs up here flying around.
Can you hear it?
I said,
Can you hear it?
Kinda. Can you turn it up a little bit?
I think it's the most. Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to be extra quiet.
All right.
I didn't believe him. I kind of hung up on him, and then a little while later, I don't know how long it was, maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe longer. They called back, and the guy sounded real scared. Said there was one just outside the front gate, and he also said, I recall, that one of the other guards had gotten injured in some way. I don't think it was from the UFO. I think it was from trying to climb the fence.
Whoa.
Like that. And then I hung up, or he hung up because he had to go. His guard got injured, and then I believe you were either getting up or I woke you up, and then some of our missiles started shutting down. Is that right? Is that about how you remember it? Right. We had security alarms and problems with a couple of the sites. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure glad I found you.
Awesome. So we have confirmation there, because people, of course, are saying Salas is crazy and he made this stuff up. So him calling the colonel of the base, confirming it, is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So Mywald passed away in early August 2012.
The big C got him.
Yeah,
it's a bummer.
And here's a great footage from Timothy Good, who wrote Above Top Secrets and Earth. You know, we talk about Earth a lot on the show. I've listened to that audiobook like I don't know how many times. So here he talks about the phenomenon, and there is an alien force behind the cover-up, is what he's saying. I'm starting more and more to believe that they are behind the cover-up as well. It's not really up to our government or humans, that the phenomenon itself wants to remain hidden, and when it's ready, it'll reveal itself. Or maybe never.
Yeah, who knows? Or a lot of people think, you know, their whole point of existence is just get humankind questioning, or get us to open our minds.
And or like we're an experiment, and if we do know, then it ruins the experiment somehow.
Right.
So who knows what the experiment is? Something to do with consciousness, maybe good and evil. Maybe if there's no proof of other beings, then there's no proof of God. Then people, you know, do they become atheists and then become immoral, or I don't know. Who knows what it is? Something we don't know about. But yeah, but Timothy Good has been researching this. He's an excellent researcher. He has great contacts in government, in world governments, not just the U.S. and British government. So he's really one to listen to.
And do you think that the call it the cover up? Do you think that's actually perpetrated by an alien force then, or do you think that's purely human beings?
That's a very good question, but I myself think, well, the two things I'd like to say about that is that, first of all, from what I've gathered, many of the aliens don't want us to know what they are doing here. And that's kind of understandable. And they could take retaliatory action if, say, those few people in the United States government wanted to start talking. And it's quite possible they've done that already. So it's not in their best interests.
Many people believe that the cover-up isn't purely perpetrated by the military or perhaps even the Illuminati, that there is a link with aliens who are in control of the disclosure or non-disclosure, shall we say. Do you think that people are receiving, or the power structure at the top of it is some kind of alien force?
I do indeed think that is the case, yes. And there's also corporate interests involved, huge sums, billions of money in the black budget is involved in this subject, and it's all covered under weaponry.
So how would, I mean, this is probably going to be a really difficult question, but how would that communication take place between, would it be in an office, just two people sitting, an alien sitting talking to someone in the UN or something like that? Or?
Well, not probably not the United Nations, but certainly there have been meetings in offices, certainly involving the more human type that, you know, pass among us and are spies, if you like. Those meetings have taken place. Other meetings, I'm told, have been take place at the bases.
And some witnesses,
and that involves both of the basic types of aliens who communicate with us.
Do you think an American president, if he found out what was going on, gained some of this knowledge, do you think he would have the power to go for full disclosure?
I learned, for example, that President Kennedy in 1961, 1962 requested observation of the alien bodies recovered in some of these events, crash retrieval cases. His request was granted, and as I've written in Need to Know, he was taken on Air Force One to Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, and he viewed the bodies. I don't know much more than that, except it was a top secret mission, and it was headed by General Godfrey T. McHugh. And interestingly, from another source, I learned that General McHugh replaced one of the principal military attendees at Dallas on 22nd of November 1963 at the last minute. So you could put two and two together and make 22, but I don't know. I think Kennedy was assassinated
Linked to
to the fact that he probably wanted to tell the public.
Yeah, lots of researchers talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But he had lots of enemies, so
of course
that's just a really powerful one. But yeah, I mean, it just makes sense, right? The power structure, because they talk about the secret societies, about this secret, and if secret societies have ways of meditating and have occult practices and rituals, and they probably do interface with these beings, and maybe they're the ones who are running everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said a couple minutes ago. It's about getting a group of people together, and whether it's prayer or some sort of meditation or whatever it is to call beings down. You get the right people and enough people thinking the right things, and it happens sometimes.
That's so true, and that's why prayer works. That's why group prayer is even stronger. I read this book called The Power of Eight, and apparently that's like a secret. I just remember this now, but there's something with groups of eight. When you have groups of 8 people, it can be very powerful if they're focusing on one. So there's actually like meetups with groups of 8, and you can and everyone in that group can focus on something. Like they say, okay, can you guys help me? Can we all focus on this? And then the whole group focuses on that kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I definitely believe in that. I mean, the consciousness and intention is something. Look at the placebo effect. Why would we test for the placebo effect? So that's right. If it wasn't something that strong and powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a sugar pill could heal someone, which is crazy.
Just because, it's just like if you believe in something enough, it becomes true.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go into some UFO sightings, some really good ones from Think Tank. This is Romanian Navy shooting at orb which remained in the same spot for hours. It's a Black Sea incident. So this is, I guess, like the Battle of LA.
So
where nothing happened to it.
Well, okay. So I have a thought on this, but I want to see the video before I state anything.
There, see them. They're shooting.
Oh yeah.
They're just shooting at this thing. So funny, and doesn't even care. I mean, this is the military, okay, guys? They're not shooting at the moon.
So, well, okay. Now here's the thing, and I was going to say this before you play the video, but now that we've seen it, now I definitely want to say that I think this is military training. I don't think it's.
Oh, so it's like a flare or something?
Yeah, and that's the whole point, because I've seen this done by other. In fact, I think the U.S. Navy does something fairly similar, where it is like a flare, just floats. It just gives you a target to shoot at.
Okay, that would make sense.
I think that's what's going on here. But if it was truly some sort of UFO that was invading the airspace and sitting there menacingly, and the Romanian Navy shooting at it, that's way cooler of a story.
Right, and they'd probably have sirens going on and other things.
Yeah,
just,
but I think this is a training exercise. I'm interested to see what the replies might be to that.
Oh, let's go back to that. And what's this? So this is the actual object?
I think this is, who knows?
He doesn't say anything.
What
update? People saying it's a target flare, but witnesses state it was in the air for several hours. Still identified. Here's the source thread.
Links to Reddit. That's unfortunate.
Link. All right, so
I think I'm not sure if it's a flare or literally a balloon with a light on it. I know he says it stayed up there for hours. I still think it's some sort of military target for target practicing. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I tend to agree. All right, so here's another one from Mexico. Unknown object captured by multiple people in Mexico.
Yeah, this
July
one is
7th.
Wild. And I can confidently say that I don't think this is a target flare.
Oh, it's blinking. Hello, humans.
Very weird. There's not a.
Whoa, behind the trees.
All right, yeah, so it is moving. I was gonna say it looks like the top of a pointed tower. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
a skyscraper. But the fact that it's moving obviously means that's not what it is. Is this from a different angle?
We had sneeze. All right.
This must
So
be.
yeah, this is. It doesn't say. Yeah, it's got to be a different angle. So someone else took this.
It does look like it's above a city, but not a city with skyscrapers.
Right.
Or if it is skyscrapers, that's way higher above those.
Yeah, and it's descending.
Boop, boop. Yeah, very weird. It's like a weird like tint of light too. It's like almost purple.
Yeah, the first one was definitely purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like it's something trying to communicate. Narcos really stepping up their game.
That was a great series.
I've never seen it, but I've heard good things.
Oh, you'd love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
So I'm probably going to start that Ryan Reynolds one. Once I finish Succession, I'm probably going to start on that one. The Ryan Reynolds show you told me about.
Oh, the soccer one.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wrexham. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Right,
yeah, it's great. Yeah, so I sent you this article from Vice, a couple years old at this point, but it's still a cool story. Inside the Mexican city that believes it's protected by aliens. Legend has it that the cities of Madero and Tampico are protected from hurricanes by an alien base called MUFON.
Crazy. I love that.
Yeah. So they were talking about this. This story came in November 16th, 2022. Tropical storm Carl was forming a few hundred miles from the coast cities of Madero and Tampico. But one of the locals, a 71-year-old woman named Beatriz Garcia, said she wasn't worried when she saw the news. She said, the aliens are going to protect us. This is what I believe and trust, that they exist and that there is a base. And this is not this is a common sentiment held by a lot of people who live in these towns.
That's so nuts.
Local legend has it that this area of Mexico has been protected by hurricanes and other dangerous storms for over 50 years by extraterrestrials who monitor Earth from an underwater base hidden a few miles off Miramar Beach called MUFON.
Hell yeah.
Rumors of underwater alien protectors are unproven, of course.
Yeah.
What's certain is that Tropical Storm Carl took a sharp turn away from that part of the shoreline and connected further south on the Gulf Coast of Mexico, causing floods in some places and leading to one death. So it did. I was going to say, we can check this now if the storm did hit, but it did, in fact, take a turn away from the town. That's pretty cool.
So what's the area called? Miles off Miramar Beach. We should take note here and maybe look at Google Earth at some point and see if there's something there. So that's crazy. So it was supposed to hit land and then it just veered off.
Yeah. But they asked that local woman what she thought, and she goes, "Oh, I'm not worried. The aliens protect us."
Extreme weather events continue to miss these cities, feeding the legend and making Madero and Tampico the epicenter of alien culture in Mexico.
So cool.
That is so cool. I love it.
Oh, it's a tourist location.
Yeah. I mean, many people say that, the planet's protected. Like, don't even worry about asteroids or anything like that. Or, we'll even see like even nuclear fallout, or even, when nuclear reactors melt, that kind of thing. So there is a higher authority taking care of this planet.
Well, they missed the ball with Chernobyl.
Yeah, that is weird, huh? Like they do, but you think that they let things like fail on purpose? Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
If these things are truly aliens, then we couldn't possibly understand their agenda.
Very true. All right. So she's talking that she saw flying saucers in 1967.
So cool. Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole. I mean, this is really cool. I want to go visit there badly.
Yeah, I want to go to Mexico anyway. This would be a cool place to.
Mm-hmm. And it's on the beach too. You get to go to the ocean.
Yeah, so it's on the Gulf Coast.
Yep.
Very cool. So wait, what's this though? Oh, scientists have found. Never mind. Astral travel. They had to get into the astral travel.
Yeah.
But if usually touristic cities are like that, you just have these type of people there.
Yeah, when your city becomes about one thing, you go all in.
Yeah. Okay, so I did want to show you that this showed up. Odd UFO filmed over Mexican city, purportedly protected by aliens. How does that happen?
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, you sent me this thing that's 2 years old.
3 years.
3 years old. And this happened 3 days ago.
Oh, no, it was 2 years. Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty wild stuff.
So this is watch odd UFO filmed over Mexican city, purportedly protected by aliens. And here's this video. I'll mute it since they're speaking Spanish. I can't really see it.
I think I see it in the cloud. No, maybe not.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. Right there. They always look so translucent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're flashing in and out of reality. Oh, that's it? Oh. It's much slower. Is that another one? OVNI. Is OVNI short for like UFO, or is that?
I don't know.
Tampico. Well, it could be a plane at that. It's not too clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, it is weird that this showed up right when I sent you that article. You know, synchronicity or, you know, who knows? Who knows?
I love synchronicity. Are you always in tune synchronicity?
Yes and no. I don't know. I mean, sometimes something happens and I go, whoa, or other times I try and rationalize it where, you know, there's a pretty good chance of that happening anyway.
Yeah, I get it. But I think when you're aware of it, it happens more. It's like the universe gives it to you more, right?
Right.
All right, so we have another footage. This guy is a passenger on the plane, and he takes this video of 2 UFOs flying underneath the plane.
Oh, we got a double?
There we go, 2 of them.
Wow, what the hell? Now those look like they're like
they disappear and reappear. Well, when they change color, now it's like a gray.
Whoa!
Color.
See, they have wings
or something.
Yeah, very weird. Yeah, they don't look like your typical spherical or disc shaped. They look like they've got angles on them. Like I almost thought those looked like the Aurora thing or the UFO we were talking about earlier, the real Roswell UFO.
Oh yeah, the Roswell UFO, the winged disc.
Yeah.
So this is the original video. So they disappear. There they are. Or there's one of them, right here. Whoa. I mean, these days, could it be a drone? Or is it too big? But it's changing colors and.
I think it's too high in the sky to be a drone, right? Unless it's like military or something.
Yeah.
Because this is from a plane, so this is pretty high up. Of course, it doesn't look like he's all that high up.
Yeah, I'd say 12,000 feet, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, when it becomes translucent like that, then it's something weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the observables. Yeah, all right. So that is something anomalous.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you guys notice how they went from white to invisible to dark? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. How come I haven't retweeted this? Dude, Think Tank, come on, follow us, man. What's up with you? He doesn't like our politics, probably.
Yeah.
It's out of focus. All right, so cool.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
And then there's another one. That's right. This one is a complete orb.
Yeah, here we go again. Crazy.
Yeah, it looks like the sun. Look at it.
It's so bright. I don't know what the hell that would be.
I've seen one of those before in a country. In a certain country I was in.
I mean, that's pretty big though for when we see the lights in the sky, it's usually pretty far off. That's huge.
Yeah, and then it loses its brightness.
Dims a little bit.
It's like a flashlight.
It really does look like a flashlight.
Flashlight from another dimension.
And then shoop, there it goes. Oh no, they saw me.
Yeah. Look at that. It's like a point now. A tiny point of light. Yeah. Like it went from looking like a sun or a moon.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Oh, look at it go up.
Straight up.
I feel like sightings are increasing.
Yeah, me too. And that's the thing. That's why we got to see the aliens in person, because this doesn't, hold a lot of people's attention. This kind of stuff, these kind of sightings, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll just say, "Oh, just lights in the sky."
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I don't know what that means. Swoosh.
Yeah, it zoomed up, then it stopped. Looks like it's just hanging out again. They can't see me if I close my eyes.
And a drone can't do that unless it's
No.
shining a big light on it, because it
There
can
it
go
goes,
those
man.
speeds. So she's still filming, unless.
Man, that is
They love
bizarre.
Mexico.
Yeah, they really do. That's bizarre stuff. Yeah, unless the cartels are getting super creative with what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. But I mean, we'd be all over that if they actually had this stuff.
Mhm.
I think we would have taken them out.
I don't know. We just played that video with the that miner who had a jetpack and was doing night mining.
That is so nuts.
Apparently, this technology you can just get everywhere.
If you have the money. If you have the money. TMZ have gotten into the game, right?
Hell yeah.
So they had a really cool segment. Trump allegedly fearful to disclose UFO deets. Other presidents sketchy as well.
Yeah, of course. For whatever reason, they cannot disclose what's going on with the UFO program.
No. Even Trump. And
Even Trump.
You'd think he'd love it,
Mm-hmm.
to like just screw them all over.
Yeah, you'd think so.
All right, so here it's the TMZ panel talking about disclosure. We're gonna have this in the whole thing. Strange and suspicious.
Something is up with presidents and UFOs. George W. Bush was so sketchy when he was asked about that. Bill Clinton said that there may well be aliens out there. Barack Obama said he couldn't explain some of the things that he's seen when it comes to unidentified flying objects. This is an Australian journalist who has a real interesting theory about why Donald Trump is scared to talk about UFOs.
He's scared they're going to kill him if he reveals what he knows. That's what I've been told.
All right,
You have a situation.
This came out way before when this came out. On the 9th. So holy shit. I didn't know Ross Coulthard said that. They'll kill him.
Well, I've seen his shooting. He was not talking about aliens or UFOs at the time of being shot.
No,
so
no, he definitely wasn't.
maybe it was planned for later in the speech or something.
Yeah.
Where your potential president is terrified of speaking about the UAP issue because he's scared they're going to knock him.
I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So is that Australian journalist right? Because he is just waffling on this.
I think it holds water because we know that this dude, Trump, never met a secret that he didn't want to spill.
We also know that when he doesn't know anything, he always says interesting over and over again.
Also true.
More importantly about that, though, the source, right? So Ross and I are good mates.
Ross is the guy that we just saw, the Australian journalist.
Ross Coulthard. So Ross and I talk all the time, and when he says, I have people and sources that tell me this and that, I trust Ross. And presidents all the way back to Eisenhower have been allegedly briefed on this sort of thing. And you can tell it when they're in these interviews that they're being, stopped at some point. I can't go any further.
If we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope that it's not like Independence Day.
You're right. Every president since Eisenhower has been briefed on something. It may be that we don't know very much, and that might be the essence of the briefing, but that definitely within the community, national security community, there is a concern.
Why can't they take a stand? I mean, if they have some document that shows definitively there's no such thing. It's easy to say there's no such thing.
They all waffle on this. Why?
Bush is very tongue-in-cheek. I think Bush is having fun with it.
Did you go through the secret files, the UFO documents? Because if I was president, that'd be the first thing I did.
You know, it's funny. My daughters asked the very same question.
They did?
Yeah.
Would you be allowed to tell your daughters what was in those files?
No.
You would not?
No.
Now that you're out of office, you can do anything you want, right?
True, yeah. But I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me.
I think that he thought it's a moment of being kind of charming and kind of tongue-in-cheek.
All of them are this way. And it's like everybody kind of wants to know this.
This is too binary. You're making it sound like they do know or they don't know, but the worst scenario is that they don't know.
Why is that the worst scenario? I cannot imagine a country that would want to inform possibly the most public figure of the government and tell them something that they could be susceptible. These are people who are going on late night shows at times.
They say, okay, I want to see the file. No, I'm the president. I want to see the file.
I'm not denying there could be a separate agency that might have intelligence about alien life. Hypothetically, let's say that's true. The person that you probably don't want to be informed about that and have a slip, a human error of releasing that on hot mic, would be the face of the country.
So some bureaucrat knows, but the president doesn't?
I would say so.
It's a national security clearance issue.
Obviously, a commie
Each one of
leftist.
these presidents is sworn in, you know, at a level of TS or above. They're not able to say much about it. And if they did, you know, they'd be compromised.
TMZ is weird because they make themselves the main characters.
Yeah. But I'm glad they're pushing this.
Yeah, me too.
Don't take them seriously, right? It's like a joke.
Yeah, as more and more news, starts digging into the UFO stuff, it is a net positive, as obnoxious as they are. Because more people need to be made aware of the alien agenda.
And they get the best videos. Like even the Trump videos that came out, they got the best ones. So they paid top dollar for that stuff. All right, we can move along. MUFON had their thing this weekend, but I didn't see anything. I guess you have to pay to see it.
Yeah, makes sense. MUFON's pretty stingy like that.
Right. So it went. I think it went on from the 11th to the 14th. So today's the last day, and hopefully we'll see some clips maybe tomorrow about it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, about that. I mean, we've covered it before about that. The artifacts that were tested and then stolen from their PO box, but they still have all the testing stuff. But too bad the material is gone.
Yeah,
and Arrow released a report. Did you see that one about that they tested and said it's not alien? Of course. I mean, that's the only report they're going to release anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, we don't need to watch that because it's just basically an ad for the symposium, the MUFON symposium. MUFON does great work.
Yeah, like you said, hopefully we get to see some clips come out of it this upcoming week.
Exactly. And then there was this article. Experts reveal the real reasons UFOs target high-speed planes and warheads. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's basically because of nukes.
Yeah. It always is. They just love that nuclear energy, man.
Because it makes us powerful, I think, too, right? It gives us a leverage where we can, I guess, defend ourselves from them or something.
But I don't. Is it powerful leverage really? Because honestly, when it comes to nuclear warfare, unless you're fighting in space, it essentially is. If you shoot us, we'll blow everything up, including ourselves. I don't know how much of a deterrent that really is.
Well, I mean, if they're on this planet too, and they don't want to see it destroyed, maybe there's something to that. There's that book. Remember, Kathy from New Zealand in the '60s. He said that it was messing up some. It's like a ley line that they use, some energy lines that they use to fly in on Earth. That was messing up that.
I mean, it's a pretty interesting concept. Like, imagine if you're watching one of those like police negotiations where the guy's got hostages inside the building and police are trying to get them out, but instead of hostages, the guy is just holding the gun up to his own head.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't even know how do you de-escalate that.
Yeah, it is very similar to that. So remember this 1976 British Airways, the Concorde flight. So there was a UFO that went up and down. Famous video. And there was this one in the Queen Jubilee in 2022. I think the video's up here. Wait a minute. That one's a cool one. Here, it's going to fly right here. There it is.
Oh yeah, well. Shoo.
Again, probably just playing. Oh yeah, and here's the Concorde. So you're going to see it. Yep, it dips down and then. Wait, where did? Maybe it's here. There's the Concorde. Man, that was a cool plane.
Yeah, it was just not feasible, right? So they
It
discontinued
was too expensive. I think they discontinued it about 5 years ago, or was it 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit longer than that, but yeah, because I remember that was supposed
There
to
it
be
is.
like there it is, yeah. The next,
But I've
big
known some
thing-
people that have flown on it, and they say it's so quiet. Of course, because you're going faster than the sound of the engine.
Yeah, pretty bizarre. Yeah, that was the other thing is like it was so loud when it would land and take off that it was
Right.
screwing everything up.
So that orb was spying on this, and this was a test flight. So of course they have to get their things in there just to do some reconnaissance.
Right.
And we obviously share this planet with something.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Just
so
scanning
weird.
it. Yeah.
I don't understand how people could watch that and like what's the explanation for this?
Mick West said that it was some reflection in the lens.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that went right, left, and then just took off. You see that at the end? How it took off? It went
Mhm.
straight up because it's right here, right now. Boom.
Yep.
Gone. So, yes, Mick West. Mick West. West is definitely on the take.
Is on the dole.
He definitely is. And then it gets this. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you. Okay, so even more curious is the nearly dozen UFOs that appeared above Japan's Fukushima lab after its nuclear disaster in 2011. Witnesses
Mhm.
told the Netflix docuseries Encounters that the UFO saved them by lowering radioactivity levels.
Yeah, they sucked it up, ate it like candy.
Yeah, well, if that would make sense. If there's a lot of energy there and your craft can do something like that and utilize that energy, that would make sense.
Mhm.
And I guess this is it. There's a huge amount of footage on the internet with these. Yeah, Fukushima. Look at that.
Wow, that's weird. That's a weird thing. I
Yeah.
don't even know if that's supposed to be a bunch of lights on one object or a bunch of small objects.
Yeah, who
'Cause
knows?
It looks like it could. I have no idea what to think of that.
Could be many, right?
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at that. There was never mind.
Where this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Close your eyes, kids.
This is a adult show.
So this is a cool graph. This is the UFO sightings moved from nuclear weapons manufacturing to nuclear missile silos. So
That's because we stored them there. I mean, this actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep.
They want to see them being made, and then once we start putting them in silos, they want to see where they're stored. Yeah, I mean,
Yep. And then ICBMs. So that's the purple, and that's what comes in the 60s. So
Mhm.
they went from manufacturing to storage to ICBMs.
yeah.
They're like, all right, what are you guys doing? And then we've also talked about this, how it went from daytime to nighttime.
Mm-hmm. Which is unfortunate. Bring back the daytime UFOs. Come on, aliens.
Yeah, exactly. We come in peace.
You'll leave
Yeah,
in pieces.
So Malmstrom Air Force Base is in Montana.
Yep, you're right. Good call.
So that Robert Salas, what we heard before, that happened in 1967. Who's this? Robert Jacobs. That's the Nimitz. So yeah, cool article from Daily Mail.
Mm-hmm.
And it always comes back to nukes
every time.
So the Nazca mummies. This is crazy. So
There's
apparently,
really cool stuff going on with them.
yeah, apparently there's a baby inside one of them, and you can see it in the MRI.
Oh, and he even had a name.
Look at it.
Oh,
well, yeah. So she was pregnant. I think they said she was pregnant, but then the image is going to change. They're going to, you know how MRIs can go through like layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to go. There we go. And it's going to show it much better than this. There. I mean, it's at the eyes. There it is. Wait. There. Look at that.
Mhm.
You can see the skeleton.
Man, that's so weird.
especially that it would stay in there for that long. Look at that.
Well, bones take. I mean, I'm assuming all the tissue composed, but the bones don't. That's why we always run across skeletons and stuff. Eventually,
eyes.
they do, as long as it's preserved. And it seems like the Nazca mummies were somewhat
Yeah,
preserved.
right. But you can see its eyes and the big head.
Well, the eye sockets anyway.
Yeah, the eye sockets. So I mean, they've done a lot of science to these things, and
yeah, and no one has debunked this yet. There's a lot of
they just lie. They just say, "Oh, it's a hoax. It's bullshit."
Yeah, the skeptics are just skeptics to be skeptic. I mean, they don't have any proof saying it's fake.
No.
They just go, "Oh, this isn't real," and you say, "Well, how is it not real?" And they just go, "Well, it's just not." You can't prove a thing that's not true or something like that.
Yeah, so she's definitely pregnant. Meet Raphael, unborn baby of Montserrat. Note that the baby is also tridactyl. Tridactyl?
Does that mean three-fingered?
Maybe. I'm trying to remain open-minded here, but the more I see, the more I believe. If this is a hoax, it's the greatest of all time. However, instead, I'm starting to believe we are truly seeing the greatest discovery, if all time. But I may be wrong.
I mean, and didn't we cover this last week? Or wow,
there was something else with the Nazca. Oh yeah, about there was a book written about like CIA.
That's what it was. Yeah. And with the CIA showing interest, that means there's some absolute truth to this.
Yeah,
wow.
They're going to go get these things.
Technology is pretty freaking wild that they can do a 3D rebuild of this just based on an MRI.
It is nuts. It really is. Science is the science. Yeah, look at that thing.
Yeah, wow.
You can definitely see a skeleton. There's its ribs.
Wow.
I mean, who would go to these lengths for a hoax?
Right.
I to be honest, I thought it was bullshit, but I'm seeing a lot more stuff, and they're bringing in like real scientists into it.
Right. Yeah, and all the experts keep leaving with this guy's same opinion, where he just goes, "If this is fake, this is the best fake I've ever seen."
Yeah. And this is an article from Psychology Today. I wanted to bring it up because it's positive and it's not pushing the same narrative. It is actually trying to tell people how we can all solve the US UFO mystery. And they're basically saying, get rid of the giggle factor, take this thing seriously, look up in the skies, take pictures, take videos, report it to the National UFO Center, and all of us can help in solving this mystery.
And again, goes back to the theory that this is what the aliens' goal is. It's to get us to open our minds and work together. That's why they don't land in someone's backyard and introduce themselves. They want to just be seen but not understood. Want us to work together, piece together the puzzle.
And maybe when they tried in the past, like in the 50s and 40s, when they did try just to come down, we shot at them and killed them and freaked out. So maybe they want us to, all right, like, fine, let's do it another way. Let them open their minds. Let them notice that we're here. We're peaceful. We're not here to hurt anyone. And once we accept that, then maybe they'll show up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be.
So they have the possible explanations. But yeah, I thought it was good. So it goes, so let's be open to learning more about our universe and let's get over our learned helplessness. Let's not make fun of people who say they have seen UFOs or UAPs. Instead, let's be open to all possibilities.
100%.
Let's observe the sky, document what we see, and report our videos of UFOs to the National UFO Reporting Center, making sure that all the imagery has a date, time, and place stamped so that the reporting can be cross-correlated with other reportings. Cool. That's all. We need more of this stuff, not like Forbes and the other media outlets that still make fun of this and still say there's no such thing, that they're all explainable.
Mm-hmm.
They don't help. And unfortunately, most of the media does that. We did get shared this, and I don't know if you want to go, because we can't just go over this. I mean, it's long, and I think this is a book.
You could just, can you summarize really quick?
I mean, I think this is like aliens talking to us. It's a message to humanity. And I think it's a book, but it's a really large site, and it's got just hundreds of articles. But it's written from the perspective of NHI.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like basically, see, humanity has evolved in a state of relative isolation. Wait, where is it? It says that we're barbaric or something. Where is that? The human family does not realize how significant a place this world really is in a universe of barren worlds. I mean, yeah, I mean this is just a beautiful planet. We're lucky. Yeah, see, with only a few exceptions, view you as chaotic and barbaric. I mean, we know that about ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So this is a discourse. Now, a human could have written this.
I think a human did write this.
Yeah, right. So I don't really like these kind of channeled material, if you like to call it that.
I don't know. I if anything, I think this is just a interesting creative writing exercise. I don't know if it's channeled or anything like that. I think it's just,
yeah, someone with insights, better insights, maybe more down to earth insights.
Right.
Like here, like they are not here to destroy you, but to use you, for they cannot live in this world. So they need you to work for them. Oh, okay, never mind. So it's not a positive thing. And they will promise you anything, and they will assure you that you yourselves cannot solve your problems in order to gain this power and influence over you. Now, there's a lot of like messaging, the same kind of messaging from religions saying that, we have to work the soil, and you know what I mean? Like we can't. That's humanity's because of our original sin, that we have to work the earth, and that life is going to be difficult because of that. So I see that. This is how a small group of resource explorers could overtake the entire human family without the use of force. They will prey upon your conflicts and your inability to resolve these conflicts, emphasizing that they, more than you, have the power and the capability to meet the growing needs of humanity. This, of course, will persuade and induce many people as humanity loses confidence in itself, in its leaders, and its institutions. This will create a vacuum of confidence, which can easily be filled by the intervention that exists in the world today. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense if things are chaotic that someone's going to try to be our savior.
Right, of course. That's always how it works.
And if they look human, I guess it makes it easier.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is a long read. To be honest, I did not read it, but we did have someone share this with us on X. I think it was under a post, maybe that Timothy Good post. I think we said that it was another post about that the phenomenon protects this planet from nukes or something, and I said it was 100% the case, and then we were sent this.
Well, cool. We always like it when our listeners interact with us, no matter in what form. So please, if you have something you want us to see or get our eyes on or do some research on, always, shoot us a message on social media.
Yeah, and maybe we can bring someone on that knows more about this. Like, I guess the person that sent this to us. But so God is in here. So God knows what humanity is facing with the greater community. All right. So is this saying that aliens are demons? Possibly. I don't know. This is long, and I have seen this site before, and each one of these are like thousands of words each.
Right.
So look at that. Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. It's a huge website. Could this be the one world religion?
Anyway, the whole thing it seems to be called Contact with Intelligent Life in the Universe.
Yes. And it's most likely a bunch of books. You can listen to it too.
Sweet.
Oh, that's easy. All right, cool. Moving along. You shared Unanswered Oddities, AI generated TV show. It's getting nuts.
It is getting nuts. I just thought this was
can do this.
Weird and funny, but yeah, it is. I don't know. AI is coming far and fast.
I mean, now you don't even need a studio and cameras and actors and writers. I mean, It's just one person interacting with an AI algorithm. Setting everything up, setting the scenes up, and then probably scene by scene setting up the AI generated images and the voices too, the different voices.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's take a listen now. And we're still in the beginning of AI. So what? I don't even know what the future is going to be. Huh.
On tonight's episode of Unanswered Oddities, humans. Are they real or just a youngling's fairy tale? Humans have been a great mystery of our time. These creatures of lore supposedly ate potatoes and enjoyed sleep. They're thought to be long extinct, if they ever existed at all. But recent sightings all across the world have drummed up the debate once again. rural Morgmog, 2 hours outside of Deedle. A hiker claims to have seen a human.
So yeah, it was a Tuesday night. I had just gotten home from spitting. I went out for my midnight lurk. You know, I was just being creepy and weird, and that's when I saw it. It was a human. You could tell by the knees. I've seen them in the historical books, and it was just standing there, listening to sounds. I thought I might die.
I was called to the scene around midnight. Mr. Fugsnuck was in a panic. I searched the area for humans, but only found a toothbrush.
We don't know much about humans, other than they were most likely wildly stupid creatures. We do believe they did some cool things, though, like super sweet water sports.
The current prevailing theory is that humanity was wiped off the planet by what were called escalators. One by one, each human slowly sucked into the moving stairs, taken out by their own dumb invention. It would have been quite the sight.
But of course not everyone believes that humans existed.
Humans ain't real, brother. That's a ruse made up by the monolith to distract us from the fact that they are putting plants in our food.
Whether you are a believer or not, something happened to Mr. Fugsnuck that night.
Now that I think about it, it could have just been a tree that I saw. It was pretty dark, and my eyes were closed, so it's hard to say.
As is department policy, I fired off multiple rounds into those woods just in case there was a human. I was promoted shortly after.
Without definitive proof, we may never know if humans actually existed or still exist today. What we do know is water sports are awesome.
I'd watch a whole like series of videos like that.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
know.
On TikTok.
Cool. It's cool, fun concept, but I mean, it's just I sent this to you just to show, like, you know, how far or how fast AI is growing.
Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, it's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I mean, I deal with it on a daily basis with like several industries, several clients, even with my own stuff. It's just the world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to even use it in my line of work. We do meetings. We do meetings on Microsoft Teams pretty frequently, and now we've got Otter AI, which essentially
we have that
sums up the meetings. It's really helpful.
It takes notes
cool
and puts
stuff.
tasks. Yeah, it is great. I was gonna say, do you guys use it? Well, I don't want to say what you do, but I mean, I'm sure you use it. Like, have you tried it scientifically?
No,
okay.
And I hope we don't. Otherwise, we'll all be out of a job.
True. And you sent me this too about the blackest car. I mean, this is really black.
Yeah, this guy, some sort of YouTuber, but he got his hands on this material that it absorbs, I think he said, like 99.8% of direct light. And so it essentially makes it very, very dark, very black.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain like how black this is.
I made the world's blackest room using the darkest paint in the world called Musso Black. Now, a lot of people wanted me to paint my car with this, but the channel Dip Your Car already did that. They officially made the world's blackest car, but I'm not done yet. Could we actually make a darker car than the Musso Black car? Well, here's the thing. Musso Black is the blackest paint in the world. It absorbs about 99.4% of visible light, but it's not the darkest material. The black market just created a fabric that's darker than anything they've created before. It's called Kiwami, and it actually absorbs 99.9% of visible light.
That's crazy.
Let's see what this looks like. Driving this around was amazing. Everybody that I drove past just started staring at the car because you can't quite tell what you're looking at. It's so black, it just looks edited. Only when you get a little closer and feel it, you can tell it's actually a fabric and not paint. This is so cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. I sent that to you, and I think I said, the UFOs probably use this to, as
to cloak,
something similar for cloaking. I mean, you can see that car just fine because it's got wheels and headlights and and it's during the day. But imagine if that was all covered up, and at night it would essentially be invisible.
You wouldn't see it. There's no way, especially that absorbs all the light. Nothing will reflect off of it.
Right. Yeah. So even when you've got a light shined on it, have a tough time seeing it.
Exactly. Crazy. Look at that. It just blends with the screen.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We have just a quick Gaza update. Really sad. The Lancet said that the deaths are 186,000. That's what they're saying. And the Lancet is one of the oldest publications in England. So that's really sad and really messed up. And we're still sending. They apparently used a 500-pound bomb on tents
Great.
the other day.
Great.
I know.
Well, what's really cool is Israel's, warning civilians to get out, and then they end up bombing all the places where they try to flee to. So, good on Israel. They're really doing the right thing.
Yeah, and they don't want us talking about it. So the president of the World Jewish Congress, Ron Lauder, advocates for severe laws that will put people in prison for a long time for supposed anti-Semitic remarks.
And anti-Semitic can just mean anything you want it to mean nowadays.
Well, yeah, if you go by the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Association, it's basically if you just criticize Israel, also that's anti-Semitic.
Mhm.
So here's Ron Lauder. Of course, these people love free speech, don't they?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All politicians must lead in this effort. Words are not enough. Political speeches are not enough. Laws must be passed, severe, tough, real laws that will put these hate mongers away in prison for a long time. All world leaders, all politicians.
Free speech is free speech, guys. They're just words. Why don't you debate? Try to win the argument, not censorship.
They can't.
That's why. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Well, moving on that, so not to spend too much time. Just in case some of our listeners have not seen this, this is Biden saying, well, here, just take a listen. This is Biden. This is after the debate with Trump, by the way, and when he messed up there. This is, I think, the day after or a couple days after. It was a NATO event or something for Ukraine.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Oh. Whoops.
President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway.
Yeah, nice save.
I'm better. How tiny he
And
is.
now I want to hand it over to the president.
I'm better. No, you're not, Zelensky. He'll put us on a hit list.
I know, don't say anything bad about them.
All right, so now we can quickly move on to Trump.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it in the beginning. But yeah, this is pretty. I mean, this is why I'm laughing when people go, "Oh, it was clearly staged. He was supposed to get hit in the ear." And it's just like, you obviously don't know what the hell you're talking about if you think that.
Right.
It just shows the diagram of the shot that was taken on him, and you can see how really the only reason the shooter missed is because Trump happened to turn his head at the right second.
Yeah, he was getting hit in the head, just like JFK.
It is interesting though. In some of the posts I've seen, you can actually they caught the bullet in a frame of the photo.
Yeah,
it's not on this post, but it's been all over the place. The whole thing was bizarre. Did we talk about it on air? Like the thing where people in the crowd were pointing at him and saying, "Hey, that guy's got a gun," trying to tell police and Secret Service.
Yeah, we kind of brushed up on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did say that. I want to find that. And here's an image. Here's here's that ladder, and here's the shooter, and here's the stage.
Huh. Okay. It definitely like I don't think okay. I don't think it was the whole thing was a stage, but I definitely think he was set up to die because it does seem like
here it is.
Yeah, it does seem like the Secret Service was aware of this guy and didn't shoot until he shot.
No, that's exactly what happened. They did not shoot unless he shot. And here's that turn again. But I want to see the one with here's where they cover him. Do you want to show this to just in case our listeners haven't seen this?
Everyone's probably seen it by now.
It is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But where's the one with the
that picture of him with the American flag behind him, that's going to last for such a long time.
Yeah. anyway, so and then there is that's VLAD. Now there are some theories going around. Here's a thread. We can quickly go through it. So the media wants you obsessing about the shooter. Don't fall for it. You already said you don't care. The media will obsess over the shooter, who he is, what his party affiliation was, why he did it, etc. But he's the least important link in the chain. The conspirators will have made sure he's a dead end, or at least ambiguous enough to cause confusion and waste resources, including your attention. The media is the conspirator's friend, not yours. Have you learned nothing over the last 8 years? While the media is flooding the zone with stories on the shooter and other meaningless drivel, this is the gigantic angle they're leaving out. The downsides for the conspirators if Trump wins the election. So, we all know Trump is a Zionist. He says he is. He loves Israel. He goes Israel, everything. But he's also strong with them. Like he doesn't just give them whatever they want. He's going to probably try and force them to do a peace. He said it too. And they don't want peace.
Right.
He also said he's going to force a peace in Ukraine, and they don't want that either. So
nope.
Even though he's a Zionist, I don't think they really want him in. They want someone like Nikki Haley in.
Right. It's so weird that it always comes down to this other country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
It's funny how that works.
I know, right? It is funny how that works, and now it's more open than ever. Now it's just more obvious than ever too, because look at AIPAC. They every single day they just show off. 100% of our supported politicians won their dudes. How can you be there and just brag about that when you're
right?
Just blatantly interfering in our elections. So the same thing. He goes, Trump is a Zionist. Yes. Trump has supported Israel. Yes. Trump has done much of their bidding. Yes. He's moved the embassy. Yes. He approved the annexation of the Golan Heights. Yes. Trump visited the wall. Yes. Trump supported partial annexation of the West Bank. Yes. Trump has taken their money. Yes. All true. But Trump has also signaled two very critical areas of non-complete support for Israel and its deep state neocon allies. And here it is. He doesn't support ongoing NATO neocon war with Russia and has signaled willingness to make a deal with Putin. He doesn't support escalating the Gaza conflict into war with Lebanon and Iran, and has signaled that while he broadly supports Israel, he doesn't necessarily support Netanyahu. And Netanyahu was the first one to congratulate Biden when that whole thing happened in 2020, and Trump even tweeted, "Fuck him." So people are saying this was basically to take him out to put in Nikki Haley, because it was 2 days before the RNC. And Nikki is a really staunch supporter of Israel, saying basically give them whatever they want, whenever they want, no questions asked.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I also saw it. I don't know if there's a rumor or if it's true, but I heard that Trump sent his family out of the States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, don't confuse support for Israel with support for Netanyahu. So I love it. I love the discourse. I love people are, the CIA's trending. Sam Parker's really cool, man. He's really cool. He ran for Senate or Congress or something. But he's a great activist. He's got a lot of followers. He's really smart. He's funny.
Well, good. We need more like him in Congress, quite frankly.
Absolutely. And that's what these guys are pushing for too. I'm aware of the allegations that the shooter is Jewish. That may become an important element that will end up aligning with this thesis. Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's an interesting note right there. Hold on, scroll up to the one right before that. Right there. If this had merely been a leftist plot, they would have waited until after the convention. They tried to take Trump out before the convention in order to install someone else, probably Nikki Haley.
Read this thread. Yeah. Yep. Nikki Haley. They love her because the donors were with her before until she gave up or conceded to Trump, and then they moved over to Trump. But they obviously know that Trump is going to stand his ground, and we know that he likes peace more than the others.
Right.
Man, it's going to get crazy. It is going to get nuts. This election, I hope it doesn't get worse like you said it was going to get.
Well, I mean, there's nowhere to go but better from here. That's not true. It could get a whole lot worse. But
I mean, what they're going to try again to do another assassination? Because I think they tried to poison him once. Also, I mean,
I don't know. I
All
mean,
that.
the guy wasn't just found with a gun. He had bombs in his car and where he
Yeah.
lived too. I mean,
He
he was
had
planning on
bombs.
killing. Either he was going overkill trying to kill one guy, or he was happy to kill a lot of people. So that, in my mind, is a little bit even more scary than someone assassinating, or trying to assassinate a political leader. It's killing a bunch of people that support him. I mean, that puts everyone up in arms, even more so, I think.
Yeah. I still can't believe what happened yesterday.
I know.
It's so
It
nuts.
is absolutely nuts. Anyway, we'll see what the next coming months hold when we get up to election. The election. Hopefully it stays low key. Remember, everyone in your day to day, every day around you may disagree on some things, but 99.9% of the time, their beliefs align with yours. They trying to feed themselves, feed their families, save something for retirement, live somewhere nice, all those things.
Yeah. They want to be safe. They want to be free. They want to be peaceful. Most people they don't seek out violence, or they don't want to take over or control people's lives. Unfortunately, people in charge of the planet are control freaks and psychopaths and sociopaths, and they want to control every aspect of your life.
Well, and that's how you get to the top. I mean, what was that study they did a number of years ago where they looked at all the CEOs of major companies, and like the vast majority of them were sociopaths?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get to the top, you have to be ruthless, unfortunately. That's the way our world is designed.
What do they say? Dog eat dog world?
Dog eat dog world, yeah.
So I mean, but Trump will be good for disclosure. I mean, all the other disclosure efforts started coming out in 2017 when he came in, and then his head of DNI also was open with that. The head of DIA also, she was open about UFOs, and she said some of them could be extraterrestrial. She said that. It only started clamping down again when Biden came back in, which is the deep state. And I hope this podcast doesn't get canceled. This was
if we get canceled, we'll just move to a new platform, or we'll start another podcast with different fake names.
Yeah, exactly. The good news about podcasts is that RSS feeds cannot be censored, and that's why they made it that way. So while Apple or Spotify can take you off, if you have a website that you host your podcast on and it has an RSS feed, there are so many apps they can just put in the RSS feed and you have the whole show. So that's the great thing about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can always go out somewhere else.
Well, and before we do get canceled, and people want to find us on social media, where should they look?
Well, we're only on X, and that's because if we add other social programs, we just don't have the time to manage them. I mean, I was thinking about Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but man, who's going to manage all that?
Once we have enough fans that they feel the need that we need a Facebook page or God forbid a subreddit, we'll let the fans take care of it. We don't need
exactly. That's a good point. Hey, fans, feel free. You guys want to open up a fan page for us or something? Yeah. Feel free to cut clips that are good, funny, informative. Share those. It'll be great. But yeah, just to get back on subject, we are on X. Our Uncovering Anomalies podcast the handle is UAP the podcast on X. I'm at Breakaway Civil, and Topher is at Topher It All. So both of us are there. Hit us up, follow us, send us requests or stuff we should cover. Let us know how we're doing. And you can find us on all major podcasting platforms and all video platforms, mostly the big ones. So hi Rumble, hi BitChute, and hi YouTube.
Hi.
And yeah, that's about it. I mean, we're at episode 80 now. It's no joke.
Episode 80 of the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Woo!
Thank you all so much for sticking with us all these episodes and continuing to listen to us for the next 80,000 episodes. That is I Have a Need to Know, Adam.
Yeah.
And I am the trademarked Topher.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll see you all next week.
Yep, next week.